basically, the last time we reviewed a Nick Sparks film, I said that the thing I love about it is that there are all these sort of key elements, and you know exactly where you are with them. And we were in a screening some while ago, and it was a Nick Sparks film. I can't remember which one it was. And literally, the opening, it went Miller Time Sunset, boat, dog, guy with no shirt doing the guy, and Chris Tukey, I think it was, who was the film critic for the Daily Mail, said out loud, "And we're back." And the whole room did the same thing. But the difference was, for me, I went, yeah, and I'm glad to be back. So the story here, there are a couple of, this is probably the most ambitious of the Nick Sparks films in terms of sort of production values. So the story is art student Sophia, played by Britt Robertson. She's just finishing up her course, and then she's going to go to New York, where she's going to do some stuff with an art gallery. He, meanwhile, Scott Eastwood, son of Clint, is a cowboy who rides bulls, competitive bull riding, like rodeoing, but not rodeoing, with bulls, super dangerous. And he's working his way up the bull riding scale, and he wants to get to number one in the world. And they meet cute over... When they're first together, they find a car which has run off the road, in which is Alan Alda, right? And Alan Alda has been in an accident, 91-year-old, they get him to hospital. He, of course, Nick Sparks, has a book of letters. And they've got the letters which are recounting his relationship with his wife, which, don't you know it, he was a different guy, she was interested in art. And so we get two parallel relationships, the modern relationship between the art student and the cowboy, the old relationship between the guy who's now in hospital and the wife, and she was not. And then the story does the Nick Sparks thing. It does okay, how much does he have to open his eyes to art in order to appreciate her? How much does she have to sacrifice in order to be in love with him? Is there any way that these two worlds, the very different worlds of bull riding and art, can in any way be reconciled, whilst all the time flashing backwards and forwards between these two time periods? I think we have got a clip. We'll play you a clip. I have to say the clips aren't particularly great, but this just gives you a flavour of the tone of the film.
The goal is pretty simple. All you gotta do is hang on for 8 seconds.
Wow, there's nothing to it.
Some bowls are nice like that.
So how do you know which one you're gonna get?
You don't. You pick from a bowl.
Whoa! That's impossible!
If you're off balance even a little, you lose points. But if you control the bowl, you get style points.
Is that how you do the hand? That?
Could you tell what was happening in that clip? He was teaching her to bull ride, but he was doing it on a barrel because he was sort of showing. So this is the kind of the meeting of the two worlds, and these moments happen all the time. This is the moment they kind of so. Look, here's the thing with Nick Sparks. You know what you're going to get with Nick Sparks. In this case, you get a little bit of a surprise. There's no guy standing down the boat. There are some of the key scenes that I have loved in other films aren't there. This does feel like it's slightly more ambitious. Many people who I saw it with said, longest ride, yeah, no wonder it's called that, 128 minutes long, really bored me. It was really long. I cried. I'm just not proud, not ashamed to say it. It's they're always the same. It's to do with, intelligent, independent women who have to decide, what they're willing to make the choices. Guys who are sort of, they can sand a boat down, but they're quiet and introverted. And it does that thing. And you know what? Yes, it's formulaic. Yes, it's the same story. Yes, it's essentially the same film. I like that film, and I know that, and believe me, in a week in which Entourage and its foul horror is out, this felt like a long, cold drink of water. This felt like or as they would do in the film, it felt like an ice cold, cracked open bottle of beer just as the sun was going down scenically over the farm whilst the horses rode off into the distance. I liked it. It's Nick Sparks. You know what you're going to get, and I am happy to get it.